Monday, February 26th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. Good morning. We always start out with stock market indexes, and I'll do the same again this morning. Using NinjaTrader, I have my strategy loaded, so it's turning candlesticks a different color than you normally see. You normally see red and green simply because the close of the trading session, which could be not necessarily a daily chart, like this chart's daily. It could be, an hourly or 5-minute. It's green because the close is higher than the opening, the bottom of the body, and red because the body is red because it closes lower than where the opening was, which is the top of the green body. It doesn't say anything at all about whether the close was higher or lower than the previous day's closing price. My custom candlesticks will turn red or green, like this candlestick over here on December 20th of 23, if these conditions are met. First and foremost, are you overbought with a custom relative strength index, which is what you're looking at the bottom of the screen? This indicator is RSI, but it's my custom version, not Wells Wilder's. A variety of things are custom. And besides being overbought, that makes it turn yellow. And you've got a bearish engulfing. That causes the body to turn red. If I had a buy signal at the bottom of a bull move, beginning of a bull move, and I will rescale like this one, then it will turn the whole candlestick green. It has nothing to do with the close being higher than the low, which may be the case, but it's not necessarily the case. So that means that the close is higher than the previous close with my custom candles and custom RSI. Now back to the current market. We are currently down a little, 5 3/4, 5.5 on the March E-mini. So we didn't get a bearish engulfing, which would be very hard to do today, because we'd have to pop right back up above yesterday's high and then come back down below yesterday's close. We have already been below yesterday's low, and we're staying a little bit below yesterday's low. Now, that's not particularly surprising. I've said before, this market has been overbought. It looked like it was going to have a correction. I did get 2 corrections. Unfortunately, they both lasted only 1 day, and so I didn't get as much out of it as I wanted. And here we have not an overbought condition. We came close. Didn't get over 75, and I don't use 70. So I'm not going to get a sell signal, but we still might slip some. Next chart would be the 1-minute E-mini. I have put an alarm line right at this point. I'm going to lower it a little bit more. So when it gets below this morning's low, it will then be making lower lows again for the day. Just want to be alerted to that in case I'm doing something else in the meantime. Now, we have the, just a moment, NASDAQ futures contract, March futures. And again, it didn't get overbought, and it doesn't have a higher high. So that's the 2 reasons why it's not able to turn red today, which it could if it did get those criteria met. It ain't going to happen. Maybe in a day or 2, maybe it's not going to happen at all. This does look like a new high ground on Friday, but it didn't hold. The closing price was below previous highs, which is a little on the negative side. The lows were not that bad. It doesn't look like any kind of a major reversal Friday. I don't have a sell signal that's official, so all I can say is possible little double top. Divergences, highest high in the RSI was actually 2 levels down, and a few weeks ago, around January 25. So you've got divergence as far as indicators not making a new high, and price did make a new high twice now. So that is a little bit of a warning sign that prices might start to sag. If they do, I am still looking for a minimum down to 17,112-ish, and I'm not ruling out everything down to 16,460. Next chart is the 1 minute, and we did, that's not current. Okay, and this is how it looks yesterday afternoon, last night, and this morning so far. Not too much of a sign here of anything bearish happening, frankly. Next chart is the bonds. Currently trading lower on the day after a higher high, near its low. As I've been saying for the last week or so, I do think that any rally is not going to go very far, and today could have been it. That's it, maybe. And I do expect to see lower lows, but not by very much. And in the next, I got to say, a couple of months, maybe even 3 or 4. So the most bearish I can currently get would be maybe down to 115-ish. 114.15 would be in the ballpark. So it would be probably a relatively slow decline if it lasted as long as I think it might. 10-year notes, pretty much the same comment across the board. And crude oil, minor new low this morning for about a week, but it's coming back fairly firmly. I don't know. There's still too much resistance above the market. The overall trend is kind of in question mark. Short term up, intermediate sideways, and longer term probably on the bearish side, depending upon how you define time-wise, short term, intermediate, and long term. Next, natural gas, major resistance a while back in January, stopped the rally, came all the way down to new lows for the whole trend. I'm now monitoring the April natural gas, and I think I need to make an adjustment here to these lines, which I've just done. The lines are still there, and the support and resistance levels are still there, but because it's a different contract month, there needs some tweaking done to these resistance lines and support lines. Anyway, we went up to resistance, stopped, and now we're back below it again. I'm looking for new lows. I'm not sure how low it's going to go, but I'm looking for new lows soon, this week probably. Heating oil. Although we're having a bullish engulfing at the moment, which says the market's supposed to go up, that does not tell you how much or for how long. And I don't trust rallies at the moment. We got a great sell signal recently, a so-so one before that worked okay, but only for a day or so. Not many other signals, in fact, for quite a while here. Bearish engulfing here in the proper conditions, and another one down here. That one worked okay for a day or so, not that big a deal, and this one did not work. Okay, so neutral to bearish. Next, gold. We've had outstanding signals last year, and I've got some of them circled. Right now, inside doji, no higher, no lower than Friday. Currently trading at around the middle of the range of the day. I favor neutral to bearish. Looking for this support area to be tested again, getting down to 2005 and maybe 1975. Next chart, silver. May silver. New low for about a week and a couple days. In the support area, not oversold at all. Probably is going to test the lows that it just came up from. And that could be 22.25, maybe 22.30 for another minor low. Or it ain't going to hold. The trend is down. It's attempted to hold and did twice already. That won't last forever. So I think it's going to break those support areas. And then my objective is going to be 21.5. Next, platinum. Close to making new lows for a couple of months plus. I think it will make new lows and break out of the support area below 872.70. That's going to get broken. 857 if the support area does not hold again. remains to be seen. Not oversold yet. Might bounce off of the support area, but we have to see. No signals. Last year we got a really great one there. It's the buy signal smack at the bottom, sell signal smack at the top, almost smack at the bottom, right at support also. What was that? 3 in a row that worked pretty darn good, very good. That one did not work so well. A little profit on the scalp versions. That one did not work that well, but it worked okay. I don't like it when I get a sell signal far away from the highest highs. That one worked damn good. It was the highest high at the top of the wick on that day, and that was the day of the bearish engulfing ER sell signal. Next, so what am I looking for? Platinum. Yep, new lows. Next chart, high-grade copper. Pretty much the same story in here. Big sideways between a rock and a hard spot. We just came from a test of resistance, not quite as accurately as 3 times before that. So I'm looking for a test of support down to 3.67 and maybe a little lower. And this could lead, because of the long-term trend, to new lows for the whole year. Next chart. Soybeans. Keeps on coming down. Oversold slightly. New low for the trend. I could have a bullish engulfing green if it would rally above Friday's high, but it is not doing that at this time. I am set up for a buy signal. I mentioned on the breakout on Friday or Thursday that if it does break out, being oversold at that time is not unusual for breakouts that are bearish. And you might see a few more days of oversold condition and a little bit further down before the first rally occurs. And that's going to be back up to about 1160 and then down again. I'm not sure where the lowest low is going to be. Probably this week and probably below today's lows. Next. Oil, soybean oil, right at support, starting Thursday last week, bouncing off of it Friday, bouncing off of it so far today, not very aggressively, no signals, looking for a short-term bounce, but I'm basically bearish. The trend is down ever since June, July, when we got 2 sell signals, both of them at the top of a double top formation. Well, the first one was almost the highest high, not quite, but it worked great for about a week. The second one was the highest high for the whole trend. And what's really the second high on a double top, both. I don't need to say anything else. Next chart, meal. Too bad I didn't get one up there, or there, or there. We're back to support. It's been very good at support area. Will it hold again? Stay tuned. We are almost oversold and at the top of support, bouncing off of it for the second day. Not too bad. So far, it's putting in a little bit of evidence that it's trying to hold. I don't trust it. The trend is still down, short, intermediate, and longer term, a little ambiguous, but hey, it looks to me like the support area, if not real soon, a little later, is going to go bye-bye, and it's going to trend a lot lower. And when I mean a lot, I mean down in the low 20s. This is the low 30s. Huge. Next, corn. I was working on this earlier with a client. Sorry about that. And going back to the daily data chart, it's been oversold now for 2 to 3 weeks. And we've got yellow, meaning now all I need is a bullish engulfing. It's high and last. It's up above the middle of Friday. It doesn't have too far to go to get over, let's say 410 will do the trick probably. And it's at 404 and 75 right now. So another nickel is not that much. If I get above 410 today, I will have a green bullish ER buy signal, and I'll start screaming bloody murder, corn's bottoming out for a while. probably up to the resistance area, maybe even up to 436, and we're 404 at the moment. But I don't have that signal yet. Stay tuned. Corn might be trying something. Wheat. We had a bullish signal on Tuesday, I think it was, of last week, the 20th. Yep. ER3 did not get filled on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, but today, and it just barely missed it. Today, you would have, but we couldn't go long because it's 4 days after the signal day. I abandoned ER3 if it's not filled within 3 days. It would have worked if I was still keeping my orders in. I don't do that. So I'm maybe missing an ER3 trade. So far I am, because it is higher than where I would have gotten in, which would have been right about there. 567, I think, and a half. A few ticks under Friday's lows. Just barely missed it on Friday. Earlier today, there was a dip down here. So I'm not so sure that ER1 overnight would have survived that much of a dip down, because the high was way up here. And we probably, I'll turn this on for tomorrow, would have taken a profit in 2 to 3 days on ER1 overnight. I can tell you ER1 scalp from about this price right there on Tuesday of last week, 570, had plenty of elbow room to make a profit up to 81. So we probably made, I'm going to say, a nickel or more, 250 per wheat contract. Next chart. So this is still bottoming out, in my opinion. Oh, and another comment about wheat. Remember, there's a slim chance that we are looking at a broad double bottom from November to February now, a few days ago, the end of a giant long-term bear market, which started at the beginning of the war. And we did get a sell signal on the exact screaming bull market day up. We got a red sell signal smack dab on top. I think that was March 9th. My cursor might be on the wrong day. March 8th, 9th of 22, almost exactly 2 years ago. And now, maybe, too soon to say. Preliminary, much too early to say. We have a double bottom, maybe. If so, the breakout point is going to be 650. Above that, I will start to talk about the double bottom having been made, and the minimum rally would probably be up to something like 740-ish. And because it started out so low, probably even more than that over time. Next chart. Cattle. Not much to say here. At resistance. 1 today, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row now, including a few days earlier than that. We have been unable to get above the resistance area and stay above it on a closing basis. Now, we're doing pretty good today. We're still getting closer, excuse me, to the high of the trading resistance area, but not good enough. If this turns back down again, we would get a pretty good sell signal out of it. Excuse me. Next chart. And I'm going to go a little faster, going a little slow today. Resistance stopped late last week, the market from rallying. Started to dribble back down on Friday. Dribbling back down even more today. Love the overbought condition. Love the fact that it stopped a resistance. I wished I would have gotten a red sell signal, ER sell signal. We did get a green one back here at the bottom of that break, almost exact lows. This one was a great scalping sell signal. We've got some decent ones. I wouldn't call it, not like gold and silver. They're just incredible last year. So a little bearish, but I can't come up with anything great here. the resistance area is mostly important, and the fact that we're overbought. So yeah, I think we could drop into the support, which we're almost there already, and drop below it. Next chart. OJ. Sell signal on top of that rally. Bottom almost. That one didn't work that well. Sell signal on the historic high to the exact day. Sell signal on the first shoulder of what ended up being, after the fact, a head and shoulder top. So there's your shoulder, sell signal. Head, sell signal. Historic high after the fact. Bearish engulfing, but not high enough for RSI to kick in. So I did not get a sell signal on the last shoulder, but I got a bearish engulfing. Breakout, downside objective, all of that talked before all of these things happened. So now what? We got a sell signal. It'll work for 3 days. We're coming back up into the same price range. We're not quite overbought again, but it looks like it wouldn't be hard to do it. A little bit more strength is going to turn my RSI yellow and the price action yellow and be a prime target for maybe a double top here. We'll see. Keep tuned. Cocoa. Boy, am I disappointed. On Thursday of last week, we got what looked like a great ER sell signal. Didn't work. Got stopped out right away on Friday. Didn't lose too much, but disappointing. We're still overbought and very overbought at 86. So we still have a candidate here for a bearish engulfing again. And I've mentioned periodically that my green and red signals are frequently part of and not necessarily the highest high during a top formation or the lowest low during a bottom formation. They're part of it, which doesn't help me a lot. But frequently they are the top day or low day, and that helps a lot because you get signals that are extremely profound. And I'm going to show you in a moment Berkshire Hathaway, which is the most expensive stock, to my knowledge, in the world. Current tick $647,000 plus a share with my ER signals in just a moment. So we've got cocoa. Next chart is coffee. Nothing. No comment. Gotta wait. Neutral, pretty much everything. Sugar, sell signal during the top, but not the high day, unfortunately. Modestly bearish. Support didn't hold. Wasn't that big a deal to begin with. And we're now sliding for 2 or 3 days below that. Cotton, we did get a sell signal on the exact high day so far. We've had a rally. Didn't make any higher highs. Turned down, and that was Thursday last week. Turned down and down a little bit more today. I think it's on its way down. I need to see it break below 90.90. That would be well on its way to being a very profound high. Now, Berkshire Hathaway, I need to do this in TradeStation. We are having today, now, a whopping, huge bearish engulfing in Berkshire Hathaway, the most expensive stock, period. Now, I'd love to tell you that this implies the overall market's going to go down, and I think there's some credence to that comment, but I'm not getting any, very disappointing, any sell signals in the individual indexes at all. But Berkshire Hathaway, I've gotten some unbelievable sell signals over time and a few buy signals. Just a moment. And why doesn't this cooperate with me? This is not nice. I'm supposed to be able to drag this darn thing, and it's in TradeStation, so the heck with you. Going back to Ninja Trader, sorry about that. They both start with a T. And that's it. I'm finished for the day, 25 minutes. Keep your eye out on cotton because we may have chose reversal on the top of the market a week ago. And some of these others are showing signs of giving index, ER buy or sell signals coming up soon or happening now. I think the stock market is going to slip off unfortunately, I'm not going to get signals today. You have a great trading day. By the way, I am on a Ninja Trader YouTube tomorrow for the third time. I was on February 2nd, and I was also on, I think, November of a year and a month earlier than that. This is my third time. I'll be talking mostly about cycles, cyclical analysis, and how rhythms in markets can be relatively easily found and used for trading purposes. So I think it's called Ninja Trader Workshop. Tune in. You can always see it later. It's been recorded. Have a great trading day. Profitable trading to you.